Good morning, afternoon, evening, friends and family, loved ones. This is your friend Kelly, and this is a win I got last week. Today's the 19th, so it was sometime last week from Faithful EDC. Now, he asked me if I would do something for him, so he included So I'll give you three guesses as to what he's wanting me to do for him. So I'm going to make that for him and send it to him. Make sure I have that emptied. Oops, I need to keep that so I have his address. I should have his address. But I won on his giveaway. And if you haven't checked him out, you really should. I will make sure I got that. Good. I only had, I think, one left of his, so that gives me ones to give in future giveaways. And I need to check while I'm at it, if I have his, if I kept one, or if I accidentally, I was bad before I started doing. Okay, I did keep one of his, so I have one of his. Awesome. And no, those aren't in any specific order. So, we've got that, but I won a Rapax. I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it, but maybe. I had never heard of the company before, and he was showing it, and it actually seemed pretty cool, and I was lucky enough to win it. So, it has a little area that you could put a lanyard on it if you want to. I think, yeah, it moves. It's snug in there, but it does move. But that's the flipper tab. I really don't understand why they put a hole in it, but it actually works really well, and it's a top liner lock. I'll spit it out here correctly. As you, hopefully you see it moving. See? But this actually works quite well. I like the blade shape. Quite interesting. I don't know why they had such a cutout there. Or maybe that's part of it's for the stop pin, which I think is actually the locking mechanism. Maybe? I might have to take that apart to really look at that. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Try to see if I can see where it's hitting on that. Either way, you can sharpen it all the way to the edge, and from the looks of it, if it's hitting where I think it is for locking up, it's not going to be an issue sharpening it until you get down halfway through the blade about that. But this is an awesome win. Thank you. Thank you. And for a little quick show of how I do the monkey's fist, I have this particular deal. I just shove it down port way. I usually require 12 to 13 feet of paracord, and I'm sure he gave me more than enough, because I'm sure he went probably overboard with what I needed. 3, 6, 9, 12, oh yeah, 15. Looks like he gave me roughly almost 20 feet, so I've got quite a bit of paracord here. More than I needed. But some people will sit there and tie this off on one and do the wrap. I just hold it because I've done so many of them. And you need to do 5 wraps around. And that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't count this one because I'm technically ending that here. But, and then As you do that, tuck it under and go beneath. And this is where, when you do these, you need to make sure it lays properly and you don't overlap it, and feed it around. This is the fourth, and you can see that that's pretty snug as it is on 4, but you do need a full 5 going around, and I snug it over a little bit to have it work. Let me feed it through, and I make sure it feeds, and it's, like I said, just layer it on and work it over, and make sure it just stays in line. Make sure it's layered properly, doesn't overlap. And that's why I mentioned a really good paracord is very helpful with this. And then you feed it down through and then up the bottom in between and through. And just go back around. As you can see, I'm straightening it so it goes straight. It doesn't get, because it will get twisted on you. You just need to follow it around and make sure that you straighten it out as it goes. See how it's kind of twisting there? You just make sure it goes straight. And when you're doing this portion, you just want to have it snug. You're not tightening it yet. It's just everything is snug as it does. The extra length here is a little bit more than what I normally go for. I need to tell him, ask him if he wants his extras back, or I could just send them back to him because I know he does his. Oh, did I show? He did me the crosses, which will be added to my collection of items that I keep for members of the community. I don't think I showed this. I am just so sorry. Told you I'm scatterbrained. If I can get into it. And he makes these and he sells stuff on Whatnot and lanyards and everything else. But you know, you can put these on keychains if you want to make a necklace out of them. You know, there's multiple things that you can do, which these are very, very cool. Let's see here. And usually when I'm feeding it through this way, I only go to 4 because I got to pull it off to be able to fit the 5th wrap through here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, that's number 4. And slide it off. And make sure everything's lined up right. And then get the length, the end of it. And feed that through. Like I said, you want to make sure it's 5 wraps all the way around. And 5 there. Now you just kind of make sure that it's all laying properly and there isn't anything weird. And you'll see there's a little bit more give here on this one where you first started it. And that's the one I start with, and I'll just snug up the extra loose area And don't make it tight, just snug it up. Just work out some of the extra looseness. And you want to, when you do it, you want to basically have the cord about the same length. This one, it doesn't matter as much as he gave me. So, but what you may end up doing is multiple trips around, tightening it. But this, since I already kind of semi-snugged this section up, I'll work on snugging from the other portion and just snug it up as I work my way through it. And when you get to where you're switching on the corners per se, where it works around, you don't want to tighten it down too much. You just want to snug it up. If you tighten it down and pull in on the cord, it just makes life difficult. Just don't do it. And just keep making sure everything's lined up. You may have to work it a little bit to make sure it's laying properly. I think he called this his Deadpool pattern. I've seen a couple, same colors, the red, white, and black patterns that they call Deadpool. I think it depends on the company selling it. But this is, I'm going to take one more trip around tightening it, and what I do when I do that is I use a pair of bent needle nose pliers that has smooth jaws so it doesn't catch and pull on the cord, or it doesn't pull as much. But see, that just gives you an idea, and I'll sit there and work it and make sure everything's lined up properly like I always do, because I can see it right there. It's kind of trying to do its overlap thing a little bit there. So I need to work it a little bit. And there we go. That side's done, and let's see if we can get this side. There we go. But see, that's why you want to make sure it all lays properly, so that way when you go to tighten it, it doesn't have any big gaps or any overlaps or anything like that. But that's basically how I do the ball portion. You guys have seen me do the other lanyards and other stuff that I've done. Keychains. I think I posted, and it's all pretty much the same knot, the flat knot that goes on it. But I'll sit there and tighten this up and get it ready. And I'll double check with him and make sure he wants a regular cobra knot for the handle, or if he wants a snake knot or something else instead. I'll do whichever one he wants. It's not that big of a deal. I think this portion, once I get it tightened up, was more of the portion that was giving him difficulties. But this is part of what I do. You guys have a wonderful day. Many hugs, many kisses, much love. Your friend Kelly. Bye-bye.